Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are looking at James's video from a day ago. The world is not ready and beware Bitcoin trap. One day ago in the United States. Not to bag on James or anything. James provides a lot of information. And man, so much information. But you got to watch all the information that you take in. Not that he's trying to mislead anybody or anything like that. The point I want to make here is that the information changes all the time. Um, so this, when he posted this a day ago, you have this funding rates through February 28th. You can see here. First of all, I want to note that. And if you want to take a deeper look at these assets on the side, they're mostly the same as what I'm looking at here. Now, first of all, what he's showing here is a lot different than what I see. And one reason I'm noticing is that down here at the bottom, he has wherever he got this chart has the funding rate at 50% APR and negative 50% APR. Now, I don't understand funding rates and all that other kind of stuff because I don't dabble in this kind of stuff. I just buy spot, buy and sell spot. I don't do futures or longs or short with leverage or anything like that. So, don't really understand it. Now, here, there's a lot of orange, but at the bottom here, you see it goes from 100% APR to negative 100% APR. So the chart looks a lot different. Also, this goes through March 1st, so it has a couple extra days on it. But still, on the 28th here, it looks very different. It actually looks worse. If these darker colors would indicate worse, or if they're just are what they are. Um, but anyway, the point being, um, I kind of understand this, but not extensively enough to be able to talk about it. And but I don't need to because whatever you see here is reflected in the charts, and I see what I need to see in the charts. Um, But as far as this goes, it's like Crypto Casey said earlier. She said, but she was talking about wallets and stuff. She said, I can tell you how to ride a bike and you can read all about riding a bike, but you're not going to understand what it means to ride a bike until you just get on it and ride it. So anyway, that's how I feel about this stuff. Um, and the next thing is, the point I'm making is that this stuff changes all the time. The other thing he was talking about liquidations here, limit order kill zone. So he's obviously pulling this up from some, someone trying to make shocking, whatever the words I'm looking for. Now, if you look at the bottom, this goes through 229 and 228. I think this is like a 3-day chart. It's the same as what I would see here on CoinGlass liquidation heat map. I think it's this one, model 2. This is a 24-hour. Let's go to a 3-day. Why is this stuff taking so long? It's really weird. Because I want to make this similar to what he's showing. Now this is going through the 2nd of March. His goes back to here. Let me just make sure I'm accurate on that. Yes, his goes to the 29th of February at 6:30. 29th of February at 6:30 is somewhere back here. But still, so all the stuff that he's showing is changing constantly. This is all changing constantly. So now currently it doesn't even, you know what, and it doesn't even matter what currently is. Looks like we could dump down a little bit and suck up this stuff here, or we could even pump up. The point he was making, I think, was that there was like $2 billion in liquidations if the market dumped, they could liquidate $2 billion worth of longs, as opposed to the 500 million shorts if they drove the price upwards. But the point I'm making is that is changing constantly. And what I want to point out here is that currently, if you look at, let's look at a chart that's less busy like this one. Currently, we are at, let's zoom this out a little bit. We're on a daily time frame. Let's go to a 1 hour time frame. We are at 1500, March 2nd, 1500 UTC. Now, if you look at this heat map, the most current data is March 2nd, 7:15 UTC. So this data is already 8 hours old, and it's changing constantly. I don't know if there's a premium subscription you can pay for to get more up to date information. But when you're going off these things, you're going off of stuff that's already irrelevant. Because, like I said, this changes constantly. So I don't even know why people would refer to something like this. In all honesty, um, because whatever I'm looking at here is not reflective of where we're currently at all whatsoever. So take all the stuff you see on these channels with a grain of salt, because this picture right here does not at all look like this picture right here. You can see, you can compare them by seeing that this huge pump and dump here that we had, and the colors that you see afterwards here are not similar at all to what you see here. I'm looking, you know what? Let's go out on a weekly and see if because we don't have any colors down here at all. Let's look at this on a weekly time frame, just to see if it looks different. Come on, people. Now, see, even if you look at it on a weekly, all them bright yellow colors that were down here in this area have changed because people closed out those positions. This does not look like that at all. Look at all that deep yellow, really, really bright yellow that was below this pump and dump area. That's all gone. That is all gone. People closed those positions. So all that leverage that was down here is all gone. So things are changing constantly. So you can't rely on that stuff. I closed out those tabs on my browser because I don't even want to look at that anymore. Anyway, here we are on Solana on the 4 hour chart. We had this purple, we do have this purple triangle that we've been consolidating in since December, late December of 23. Had the breakout here. I have the purple lines here that I predicted as movement, price action movement for future. Um, and Solana is kind of accelerating that. We skipped this step right here where we came up and retested the top of the triangle. Um, Now, that's what I want to get to here. Whoop, come on, people, don't do that. We may come down and retest the triangle, or we may skip that part and just stop right here. The point being, that's why I have these points here. I just didn't pick them randomly. This point here, uh, what's the words? I don't have any words. The point here is correlates to this point here. That's where I expected us to come up to, come back down and retest, blast on up to this level here. We already did blast up to this level. And what is that level? Why did I choose that level? Because you got to go all the way back here too. Not even there. You got to go all the way back here to October 2021. It's where we wicked down to here on that date. And as you can see, prior to that and after that, there's a lot of other points of support and resistance on the on this 4 hour chart that we're looking at. Came up to it here too, and sure enough, I chose it fairly accurately because we hit it exactly, and we're coming back down. So it looks like we're doing this, like we skipped this whole part and we're already over here. Now, if this doesn't hold, then it's possible we do come back down to about 118. Um, and this is at about 126 right now, this level. But what's interesting is that I also, because I'm looking for other um, things that would support this level here, and I drew this dotted purple line, which is parallel to this orange channel we're trading in. And you can see that this, I set the purple line right here at a point similar to where we're at here, and to see if there is anything that is indicative of support. And you do have this here, not much, grant you, but you do have support here. And then, oh, I guess you got to go way back here somewhere. Yeah, right here in the very beginning. So you got those, which kind of lends a little support here, and with a line that would be drawn at this level here. And we're just right there now. So look to bounce from here through the top of this line and then come back down and retest it. Yeah, so maybe we come up above here, possibly to this red line, whatever that red line is. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. Uh, and then come back down and retest this level at 137 at where it intersects here on the orange channel. It looks like next Monday, not this Monday, but next Monday. Yeah, probably pump through here over the week, over this week. Come back down maybe next weekend or something for support on the 137. Let's see what this red line is. Yeah, well, it looks like looks like a good place. Red line we came up to actually here, which is the area we're testing for support. So it's the bottom of this channel and the top of a channel below it. It's actually, it's a channel stacked on top of another channel, which is how things work, how price action moves, if you know anything about what I do here. Um, we'll trade in one channel and then we'll immediately move up or down into the next channel, which is an identical channel stacked on top of another one. Um, so it makes perfect sense that we would come, if we get support here, come back up to about 150 this week and then back down to maybe 137 over the weekend. And I have us coming up here. What's the date on that? Yeah, late March. Target of over $200, 219 for Solana. I think all these altcoins are ready for an explosion upwards. 60% or so. Total three will probably go up to $1 trillion this month. Or pretty close to it. Now, let's look at that for a second. Because if that sounds extreme to you, understand that in this market by November of this year or possibly April of next year, total three is going to be at 4 trillion, 4 to 5 trillion. The total crypto market cap is going to be at 10 to 12 trillion. So let's go on a daily time frame here. And we're on the total three. If you look at where we need to be, well, we don't even need to go out like that. Let's say all the way like April. Say our high is in April of 2025, and we need to be at 5 trillion. I think we need to be about 5 trillion by then. That's right here. Okay. And where is that? How do you get there? How do you get there? Well, you follow these channels right here. And that's what we're doing right now. So coming up here to 1 trillion is simply staying in these channels. It's a bold move. But then after that, we're going to have some consolidation and another move upwards in consolidation, another move upwards in consolidation. So yeah, up here. End of March. Right there. That's where we're going to be. And then probably a pullback here. But I think for the next few weeks is going to see some pretty pumpy action. I'm going to put an X there. Coincides with our channels, coincides with our target here. And something like that. Now, why do I have that green arrow there? Oh, that green arrow is more than likely, yep, it's a target from our cup and handle pattern. So we are, and that's why we are going to see this big move upwards. It's the initial breakout from our cup and handle patterns that we've been forming on all these assets across the board. So that is that right there. I don't know if it's really important to go into detail on any of these. The ones I just recently added more money to and this is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing, and because I like these projects, I think they're solid. I don't have to. I'm not looking to trade anything. I'm looking to hold on to stuff, and so I think these are pretty strong to hold on to through this bull market. Man, it sounds like it's really dumping outside. I don't know if you can hear that. So just last week I bought AVAX at 39 something. Now it's 42. And what else did I buy? ICP as well as some Ethereum. I forgot what that price was, but whatever it was, it's a lot less than it is now. Ethereum's really moved up, and but ICP probably just about where it is now. It hasn't moved much. It's trying to Chainlink. It was 19 something when I bought it, so it's gone up a couple bucks. And Solana is the really good one. Um, yeah, it's at 127. It was, oh my god, yeah, it was at about 110 or 109 maybe when I bought it. So that's great. Yeah, I like. Yeah, Solana's going to be good. I'm counting on Solana going to 1,000 ish. That's just a general. Oops, let's go to Solana. Oh, we were just at Solana. Now, do I have an arrow? Oh, I haven't even drawn an arrow for Solana about where we're going to. Well, we'll do that next time. Now, renders, the other one I like. And it's just kind of hanging out. I haven't really looked at it. Oh, it's in a little nice little consolidation thing. Good, 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 good. Yeah, you know what? Look at this. It's funny. So I drew this purple line a long time ago. And, well, not too long ago, I guess, probably back here somewhere. Um, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Because look at, so here was my initial target. We blew past that target. But what was funny is that then we pulled back down and just about, actually, we did hit it on that pullback. Isn't that funny? On this pullback on February 28th, came right back down and wicked right down to my X there. That's funny. And so now from there, we're going to blast up. And it's nice that we have this little consolidation because that totally. Now, I drew this prior to us coming up and forming this flag. But let's just go ahead and kind of see. Let me see if we did draw something. Let's go to a 4 hour maybe. Things might be a little bit clearer. Oops. Not really. Things are not clearer on a 4 hour. Where would I draw? Maybe they are. If I went like this and drew a line right there, that's not a very dark line at all. Why is it like that? So I drew that line there, and then I drew like a pole from, say, there to there. And then I clone that. Let's just see where that gets us. And then we put it like right over. I don't know where to put it here. Let's just put it right there. See where that takes us. Oh my lord, look, that took us too far. Yeah, let's put it over here. Kind of gets us right up around this general area. Yeah, I think maybe. So yeah, I just did that on the fly. I think it's too far. I think we've just gone way too far here. Let's see if the daily time frame makes it look different. Yeah, maybe I made my poll a little too long here. Hmm. You know what? Because it's not really a pennant. I don't know what kind of consolidation pattern this is really. And maybe we consolidate over further a little bit more. Well, anyway, regardless, I think the center line here, that kind of is just in general, and it's pretty close here. I think we hit the center line here. It's probably going to go to the X, and that's the end of March, and that is what kind of a move. Let's see here where we're currently at. 52% move. So that's what I'm looking for the next few weeks, probably. Um, what else should we? Oh my lord, we didn't even talk about Bitcoin, did we? All right, so we got this here. Now we have over here. Do I want to be on a 1 hour? I don't know. Sure. So we're consolidating in a triangle. Well, you know what? Let me go back to this other one with all the lines on it. Let's go to a 1 hour. And so you can see here, I left my initial triangle here, this little one that we were forming. And I'm trying to get this information out to you as quickly as possible, especially with the huge movements we've been making lately. Um, but it takes things time to evolve. So a lot of times, you know, these videos aren't really set up for short-term quick action because by the time I make them, but by the time I see what's going on, by the time I make a video, and by the time you see it, all this stuff is already all changed. So it's not really a good way to probably X would be a better platform to get out this kind of information, but I don't really do that. I don't have time to do all that stuff. So I have a full time job, my own business that I work and manage, and it takes up my time. I can't do all that stuff, and that's why I don't day trade and or make a lot of trades at all. I don't do any trading. It's not worth it to me. Um, anyway, so what we've done and what often happens is that we just extended this triangle and we keep extending it actually, and we keep extending it so much that I realized finally that the base of the triangle is really just parallel to these green channels that I have drawn out here. That is the base of the triangle. And so looks like I put the purple line here because it's at the bottom here. And it looks like we're just coming up to it here. So I'm wondering if we're going to move up here from about 61.8 upwards now towards the top of the channel. And where the top of that channel is depends on the way you look at things. This purple line isn't a horizontal line; it's the top of some other channel. But a bum bum. Let's go to this other chart that has less pure lines. Um, so here I have it drawn as a pennant. But if you go on a daily time frame, for example, you can clearly see that there is a top right here at 62, about 62,500 almost. 62, 480, 460, depending on where you want to put it. So if you want to make it an ascending triangle or a pennant by going using the wicks, I don't know, whatever it is, it's a consolidation pattern, but that does change the targets. The target I've drawn here, using it as a pennant, brings us up to almost $80,000 using this as a pole and this as a pole. Now, if you take a shorter version of that, and that's not $80,000 sometime next year, that's $80,000 this week. So that seems a bit wild, I admit. And I'm not here to say we're going to 80,000. You know what? Nothing's out of the question here, but that seems a little bit unreal. Now, if you look at this consolidation here and take a pole measured from the base of that up to here. Now this is a 4 hour, but I think I drew this on an hourly. There's even I tried to take the shortest one I could. Let's go to an hourly. Yeah, so I took this pole here up to there and made it over here. That takes us to 70,000, which is kind of telling me we're gonna test our all-time high this week if you're going off of this. Now let's go back to my other chart with many, many lines. I do have that orange pennant drawn, but I also have ascending triangles drawn. And from there, you can get more reasonable targets. Now, the ascending triangles are these white. You know what? Regardless, it doesn't matter what the base of the triangle is, as long as you start it from over here. Um, I'm starting it from here, this consolidation area right here. And really, it doesn't matter where it ends. What matters is what you consider the top. This top right here is at 62 and a half based on the daily candle bodies. And this here is 62, almost 63, based on a lot of candle bodies right here and here. There are really not many wicks that you can really draw a top on. So anyway, using either one of those as a top of our triangle and this as the base of our triangle, I pulled these targets over here. Actually, I'd have to double this one because they're both coming from I made the target here. So I'd have to add that here and then add it also on top. So let's do that first of all. Sorry, I neglected to do that. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Well, maybe. But I want this guy. This is the guy I want. There, I got him. Now let's clone him and put him First of all, let's do this. And then let's put him on top there. Now, I haven't done this, so I don't know where this is going to take us. And it's probably going to take us someplace unreasonable, which is why I would go off of the tops of the daily candle bodies for the top of my triangle. And that would be this first target here. That is at 66,000. Really, the center one would be irrelevant at this point. 66,000. Now, let's see what the top one is first of all. The top one is 67,000. And where would that take us over here? The end of the week. So both are possible. The first target would take us to 66,000 Wednesday morning. And the this one's kind of irrelevant. I'm just going to leave it there because it's remember that I made one with an initial target of $66,677.70, which is a really cool number, and that's pretty much where that one is. Now that is the intersection of these two channels, so that's a really probable spot that we would hit right there. So I'm looking for us to continue to consolidate here over the weekend and then continue onwards and upwards this way, hitting these targets next week. Now, we still will not be at an all-time high. Possibly then the following week. I'm thinking we're going to test our all-time high and see a rejection at some point. And I'm initially guessing that we would hit the top of this blue channel, but as I've noticed and pointed out in previous videos, while the blue channel was relevant in the past, here is the center line of the channel here, and price action isn't really recognizing it and telling me that, hey, yeah, we hit the center of this channel, now we're moving up. It just shot right through. Now here we did wick down to it. Maybe we wick down to it here. But in reality, we just kind of wick down to this green channel. Possibly this is a wick to the center line of the blue channel. It's close enough that, you could call it that. Yeah, I think you could. So maybe that is the recognition of the blue channel. The other thing to keep in mind, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and actually, who did I hear bring up something similar? It might have been James. You got to keep in mind where we're at right now. A lot of people are saying we're going up faster. I got cut off by my video making software, and it's a good thing because it allowed me to come over to this chart so I can make my point here. A lot of people are saying we're going up faster. Things are moving much faster than they have in the past, and they're full of shit. This is where we are right now. we're moving up at this rate over this time period, which is the same rate that we moved up in the past, same rate that we moved up in over here in all our markets. We've had these runs upwards and down and consolidation, but basically traded in these channels in the accumulation phase. This channel in the accumulation phase, although it's shifted upwards here, and this channel here in our accumulation phase. Now we're just, we've come up a little bit here. I think that is actually my line that I drew. We're not that. Oh yeah, we're down here at this green line. So we're just basically at the top of this channel here. And we'll go a little bit sideways more and then have our parabolic bull run right here. Everything's completely the same as it has been in previous cycles, which, by the way, there is no 4-year cycle. And I'll get into that in another time. It's the 4-year cycle. It's no Bitcoin 4-year cycle. The halvings do not come every 4 years, and the 4-year cycle is similar. It's the election cycle. It's the same cycle the stock market follows. It's not anything unique to Bitcoin, and it's not exactly 4 years, and it's different every time. So people are trying to say, oh, it's so many days till this happens, and we go here and we go there, and don't listen to those people. They're full of shit. So one thing to keep in mind, though, however, if you do think that we are moving faster and higher than we ever have been before, is that we got cheated here. This was not I don't know, a normal high. And I'm told I wasn't around yet. I wasn't around till over here somewhere. But that there was a lot of stuff going on here. There was something about the Chinese miners getting shut down and whatever, and a lot of, and I think that's where this crash was. Um, and then you had FTX and all those other people and a lot of bad players in the market. And FTX actually was holding Bitcoin price down at some point over here, at least, trying to keep it under 20,000. So they were doing a lot of stuff to manipulate the market back then. So could be why we didn't hit the highs that we should have. Now, if you pull one of these channels up here, and I haven't done that yet, but that makes more sense right there. And that's around 90, just about $100,000. Now that being said, I wonder where that takes us here. April 2025. Holy crap! No, see that's not reasonable there. Being Bitcoin would be $750,000. That's crazy talk. What if we followed this line right there? $600,000. Yeah. So really, you can't do that. Cannot do that. What if we pulled that line down here like that? So, maybe this top is right here. Who knows? Now, if I do that, that catches that high there, catches that high there. That's something to consider. Where would that take us? Here in July, 276 by summertime. And upwards of 4. See, no, those, you can't do that. So you can't do that. Well, if you could, I'd be pretty freaking stoked, man. So anyway, all right. I think we better leave it there because we're getting a little bit crazy, and let's just delete that line. But here you can see Bitcoin's just doing what it's done here, what it's done there, traveling up at the same rate in all these accumulation phases right before we start our parabolic run. And we will start our parabolic run sometime after the halving, right around here in June, July, and come up here. Not up to those levels, but maybe I'm guessing in, where are we? October, November? Yeah. I still think we're going to hit around a couple 100,000 by the end of the year and more. You know what? Let's see if we drew a line like this. What's more, if this is more reasonable. Let's even take it to that bottom one there. See, that seems more reasonable. And that's where I got that, probably 187,000 by the end of the year. I believe that's a good target. And I'm sticking to it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And it looks like it would work out if we consolidate a little bit more and then have our parabolic bull run up like that. I think that's a minimum. That's a minimum target for the end of the year. Look at these runs, the steepness of these slopes, which is actually, I believe, probably the same as this right here. So if we just moved this over a little bit, um, from where it is now. Where is it now? It's on March, and we want to go April, May, June. 3 more months over. So here it intersects the line about, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to take this right here and I'm going to clone it and move it where I want to move it. You know what? And first of all, I'm going to zoom in because I can't see what I'm doing here. I want this to be at, well, right about where it's at. July. I think mid-June to July. Let's move it over this way a little bit. And where is that? Yeah, that's about 70,000. That's about our previous all-time high. And that's the end of June. And then if we were to go parabolic from there, which is kind of what we're doing right now, parabolic from there. I'm telling you, man, we're going to see some significant moves for Bitcoin. I think this is conservative here. It's by September. If we followed this all the way to, geez, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at this and try to come up with something that makes sense. All right. Hold on to your Bitcoins and all your other things. Don't get faked out by anything. I think we got it. We're going to see some significant gains this cycle here. All right. Like, subscribe, and see you next time.